If the polls are correct, the outcome in Haryana and Maharashtra suggests a significant change in Indian politics. In both states, powerful regional parties could lose to the BJP. If that happens, the elections could also mark a significant advance in the BJP's hold over Indian politics as it becomes the dominant national party in the country. But is this reflective of what's happening elsewhere in the country? Or is it contradicted by political developments in UP, Bihar, and also Andhra and Telangana? With me to discuss this apparent churning is Congress MP and spokesperson Abhishek Singhvi. In fact, he's a bit delayed. Hopefully, he'll be with us soon. But already with me, BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra, BJD MP Pinaki Mishra, former Trinamool Minister Shaukat Roy, and the well-known commentator and columnist Siddharth Bhatia. Sambit Patra, let's start with what message the Haryana and Maharashtra elections seem to hold out for regional parties. With the NCP and Shiv Sena pushed to the wall in Maharashtra, and with the BJP likely to outperform the INLD and perhaps demolish the Haryana Janhit Congress in Haryana, are we seeing a shift away from regional parties to national parties, as has already happened in Karnataka?
Karan, I would put it in a very different way. I would say that this is a shift from mistrust to trust. It's a shift from a place where the aspirations of 125 crore Indians were not met to a place where people have a belief that their aspirations would be met. And at the end of the day, politics is nothing but its service to the people. So the one which provides best service to the people is the one which gets selected at the end. And lastly, I would say that this is a shift from regionalism to nationalism. I mean, it's very essential that national development is of paramount importance, and till the day that we keep on fighting over issues at regional belts, national issues are always kept at the back burner. And today, when we have a scenario where the state government and the central government would be from the same party, definitely development will get the boost.
All right. Let's try and keep this analytical rather than polemical. Right at the end of that answer, Siddharth Bhatia, Sambit Patra did seem to agree with my point when he said this was a shift away from regionalism to what he called nationalism. But on the other hand, if you look at the outcome of by-elections in Bihar, where JDU, RJD and Congress allied to check the BJP, or UP, where the Samajwadi Party, with help from the BSP who abstained, again checked the BJP, you could get a very different message. But here, are regional parties reversing the trend in favor of national parties that I was talking about earlier? Or are they simply delaying it or holding it up for a little while?
In fact, I would say that regionalism is still a very potent force in Indian politics. We should certainly look at election results, but there will always be caveats that was a by-election. This is Maharashtra and Haryana are full-fledged state elections, the first after the BJP's win at the center. But I think regionalism is not yet gone. Assuming it is on the way out, but I don't think it is, because of a very simple reason. If you look at Tamil Nadu, if you look at West Bengal, they are very strong regional parties with absolutely virtually zero national political presence there of any national party. BJD is another example. Well, now, I think what is important is not the fact of the regional party, is the messaging. The Shiv Sena and the MNS, they are still stuck in a very old message of nativism, and they haven't fashioned it to include growth, development, jobs, and dignity, etc. Where that messaging has gone, and you can take so many cases, and certainly Jayalalitha is one of them, and Mr. Patnaik is another, where that link is there, where you feel that this is the man who can give us. And of course, casteism comes into it and nativism comes into it. But if it is coupled with this messaging, then the regional party will remain strong, because I think people vote very differently.
Let me stop you. We've got Shaukat Roy. We also have Pinaki Mishra. They represent two of the strongest regional parties in the country. Let's just test how strong that regional party is. First, you, Shaukat Roy. Although Mamata Banerjee won 34 out of 42 seats in Bengal, the BJP won an astonishing 17% vote share. Is that the beginning of the process that we're seeing in Haryana and Maharashtra of national parties replacing regional parties? Could it not be the case that next time round, the BJP could bounce from 17 to 25% and then seriously challenge Mamata Banerjee? So are we seeing that process starting, even if it's nowhere near fulfillment in Bengal?
No, there is an attempt by the BJP to create a one-party dominant system. And this urge of the BJP is so strong that they did not hesitate to cut their 25-year link with Shiv Sena and also jettison the Haryana Janhit Congress in Haryana. Now BJP wants to make the system one party, one leader system. But considering the diversity of Indian politics, they are never going to succeed. As you mentioned, in Bihar, the opposition
but focus
parties
on
got
Bengal.
together. BJP received a setback.
Dr. Roy, focus on Bengal. The BJP has got a 17% vote share. That's astonishingly large. Next time they could come in at 25%. Are you not seeing the beginning of what's happening in Haryana and Maharashtra happening in Bengal? The threat is there. It simply needs time to fulfill itself.
I am quite confident that BJP shows a vote surge in Bengal at certain times. In 91, in the wake of the Ram Janambhoomi movement, it got up to 12%. Their percentage went down to 5%. Now in 2014, on the back of the Modi wave, their percentage went up to 17%. Next elections, I am sure that it will go down to 10%.
But that's
because
your
BJP
hope.
has
You
no
can't be
cadre
sure.
base in the state, no
That's
leadership
your
in
hope.
the state. So
No, that's your hope. You can't
we
present
don't
that as
hope.
a certainty.
We are confident. We are confident that we shall beat back this divisive communal BJP's challenge.
Let me bring
They
in.
don't have anything on the ground.
Okay, well, let's
A false hope created by
not
Modi
become
gave them some
polemical.
advantage.
I'd rather this were analytical. We're trying to actually see whether regional
I'll be
parties are being pushed out by
analytical.
national. Let's not become polemical. Pinaki Mishra, let me bring you in. I know that in the last elections, and that was just a couple of months ago in May, the BJD won 20 out of 21 Lok Sabha seats, 117 out of 147 Vidhan Sabha seats, and that was your best performance in 4 elections. But the truth is, since then, you faced a series of debilitating scams. They are touching some of the most senior members of your party. Your image is nothing like what it was before May. Secondly, 5 years from now, your chief minister, without whom your party doesn't exist, will be 73. Now, side by side, the BJP has already got a 22% vote share. Maybe only 1 seat at the Lok Sabha level, but a 22% vote share. Are we seeing the beginnings of a threat which in 5 years from now will look very different to what it does today?
Actually, Karan, you've asked me so many questions in the same breath. I don't know where to start. Let me first tell you that for 5 years, between 2009 and 2014, all that the Congress and the BJP did, and with full ferocity, was charge Naveen Patnaik with the so-called mining scam. Every single day, they went on and on and on and on, 60,000 crores mining scam.
But this is not about the mining scam. This is about the threat you face from national parties. Come to that. That's the issue.
You're talking about... No, you just said that from May to now, there are debilitating scams and that we've lost some vote share. There's a by-election to a parliamentary seat in Kandhamal, which is happening tomorrow. Please wait till the 19th. I think we will add another 50,000 votes to what we had last time. So therefore, let's not go by this so-called perception about scams. There are no scams. No scams touch Naveen Patnaik. If 1 or 2 odd members, it's a very large party.
It's not the scams I'm talking about, Pinaki. I was talking about the fact that the image of your party is not what it was, with the BJP at 22% vote share, with Naveen at 73. Could you see the same thing happening there in 5 years' time? National parties replacing a regional party. That's the issue I'm raising with you.
No, I think what could happen in Orissa, and I'm being honest, is the BJP will replace the Congress, because the Congress is so badly debilitated in Orissa that there is an opposition space. There's no question. But Naveen Patnaik is very strong physically, mentally. He's in the peak of his powers at the moment. He's very galvanized with this victory. He's going to work for another 4.5 years, and he's going to come back with the same kind of majority in 2019. We have no doubt at all. So therefore, let's not worry about his popularity dipping. There is no other leader in Orissa who can match him in the next
Sambit Patra, let me bring you in at that point. You see, today's Hindus suggest that if your party does well in Haryana and you are able to form a government, you could actually then move to break your alliance with the Shiromani Akali Dal in Punjab. Now, The question is this: will your confidence in Modi and will the resurgence of the BJP work over the next 2 years towards the progressive marginalization of your regional party allies?
Karan, before I answer this very important question of yours, just give me two.
Otherwise we won't have any focus in this discussion.
I have a very important point which even you would appreciate. Now look, most of these regional parties, including my friend Pinaki's party and Mr. Swagato Roy's party, are person-centric parties. And remember, if something is immortal in politics, then it is organization. And organization wins at the end. So the biggest danger is if Jaya goes to jail, then AIDMK
come back to my question, Sambit.
Your question is, we have faith on the vision of Mr. Narendra Modi because the country has faith in it, and we have seen the result that the country gave to Modi's vision.
I want to rephrase the question so you actually know what you're answering, because you're resorting to useless polemics. We're not in an election mode at the moment. I asked you a different question. I said, will the confidence the BJP has in Modi and the resurgence of the BJP as a party lead to the progressive marginalization of your regional allies? You already
have never believed in that.
You marginalized Shiv Sena. Will you do that to SAD as well?
We do not believe in marginalization. We believe in inclusive growth of all the parties. Just take the example of the BJD itself. We were with BJP. BJP went ahead. We helped BJP. BJD gained ground
kicked you out.
No.
BJD broke the alliance. You didn't break it.
You have the answer in your question.
To serve it
you
and
have
save
the
it. You sent Chandan Mitra on a SOS mission to save it, and you failed. You didn't break it, they broke it.
You have the answer in your question. When you say BJD kicked us out, it means that we certainly did not marginalize them.
That was 5 years ago.
We did not
now.
marginalize anyone.
Okay.
And even now, in spite of getting the kind of mandate that we have got, we stuck to the fact that we kept all our pre-poll alliance in the ministries as well. This shows that we are committed.
You didn't. You broke with the Shiv Sena. You broken with the Haryana Janit Congress, and there's a threat that you'll break with the SAD if the Hindus to be believed.
Shiv Sena is in the center along with us. Mr. Gita is still a minister. So where have we broken?
Siddharth Bhatia, let me bring you in. We're talking about how the threat to regional parties comes from national parties, but really the national party we have in mind is the BJP. If you look at the relationship of Congress with regional parties, for instance, how Congress has been replaced in Telangana and Andhra by TRS and TDP, it's very different. So would I be right in saying that when it is a question of the equation between national and regional parties, and my contention that regional parties could be losing out to national parties, that's only true of the BJP. It's very different when you look to Congress.
No, that's absolutely true, because if you see Mamata Banerjee, if you see all the NCP, for example, there was the Tamil Manila Congress for a little while, you see in Andhra Pradesh, these are all breakaway small asteroids which have gone to become small planets from the mothership. And the mothership is losing because the mothership used to be, in the old style, a rainbow coalition which had regionalism, casteism, linguistic and all kinds of other small influential pockets within it, which are now kind of pushing away because the center cannot hold. Now in the BJP's case, it has grown organically, but it has also grown along with smaller parties. And now, as the Shiv Sena read the tea leaves very correctly, that what was going to happen to it if it stuck on in the alliances, that it would be kicked out or at least humiliated, because that's what happened with other regional parties. And that's exactly what's going to happen to the Akali Dal, because the BJP wants to now become the dominant ideological, political and social force in the country.
So then you're agreeing with my contention. I'm interrupting because you're agreeing.
Counterintuitive.
You're agreeing with my contention that the relationship between national and regional.
Yes, but I just want to add something.
Yeah.
I'm just going to add one line, and that if you look at this and convert your counterintuitive argument might be that regionalism might actually grow stronger as they see this national threat looming of somebody coming and taking over the political space in their country.
Okay, so let me bring you in at that point, Shaukat, because
regionalism could possibly grow.
I've led my guests into polemics about criticizing BJP, criticizing regional parties. That's not my intention. My intention was to be analytical about the changing balance between regional and national parties. Let me therefore try and focus on it by putting this to you. Would you accept that Indian politics is going through a churn? And 2 or 3 years down the road, what will emerge will be very different to what we're seeing today. And perhaps 5 years later, when we have our next set of national elections, it could be very, very different and maybe even unpredictably so. Would you accept that we are going through a churning in our politics that can be quite dramatic, if not revolutionary, in what it throws up?
You're asking me, Karan?
Yes, I am indeed. I am asking you, Dr. Roy. Go ahead.
Yeah. All I have to say is I think that BJP's theory of majoritarianism and of a one-party dominant system will not succeed. Indian politics has found new avenues in the regional parties, and the regional parties are sufficiently strongly entrenched so that they cannot be dislodged easily by BJP thrust. BJP will suffer a lesson in the current elections,
you know,
as
Dr.
it
Roy,
has suffered
Dr. Roy,
in
this
the
is too much
by-elections.
Dr. Roy, I want you to stop being polemical. Let's not use this as a platform to hit the BJP. I didn't invite you to be polemical. I invited you to be analytical.
I do not know why you invited me then, Karan.
Because I want you to help
praise the
analyze.
BJP?
I want you to help analyze with me.
I'm trying
better.
to analyze. Please listen to me.
Go ahead.
And the BJP now feels that it can get into power in different states without any regional allies. It has jettisoned the Shiv Sena, it has jettisoned the Haryana Janhit Congress, and whatever the alliances are left, they will soon jettison. They will make an effort by the next election to go to the whole country with one party, one leader slogan. But my prophecy is that they will not succeed in the process because the one-party dominant system has ceased to exist since 1996. After 96,
Karan,
all the
I'll come to you,
governments have been
Sambit.
alliance governments,
Sambit, resist the temptation
in which
to interrupt.
national parties and local parties have
Okay.
been together.
Let me bring in
That is
Pinaki.
going to be the only workable pattern, and the Congress is already in a bad
Dr.
state.
Roy,
Maybe
let me
it
bring
will
in Pinaki
realize
Mishra at that
and go
point.
into alliances in different states.
Pinaki Mishra.
And the BJP will realize from its defeat in future elections.
Let me bring in Pinaki Mishra. I want to put the same question to you, and I really would ask you not to be polemical. I'd ask you to be analytical. What we're talking about is whether there is a changing balance between national and regional parties, and whether as a result, the sort of politics we have in India 2 or 3 years down the road, hinted at the moment by the Haryana and Maharashtra elections that we expect, will be very different to the politics we have today. Would you accept that Indian politics is changing?
No, I don't think so. I think Haryana and Maharashtra are two egregious examples of 10 years of terrible misrule, and therefore the chickens have come home to roost. Look, there's no question the BJP has struck a purple patch with Sri Narendra Modi ji. In the last 65-70 years, they've managed these two extraordinary leaders, both Vajpayee ji and Modi ji, who are very, very charismatic. There's no question. But it's not possible every day to push up a leader of that charisma and that stature.
Okay.
So therefore, while they have struck a purple patch, I agree with what Mr. Siddharth Bhatia said. He put it very succinctly, that as long as the regional parties, stay in tune with what the people want. You've seen at the peak of Mr. Modi's powers, and he hit Orissa with as much of a typhoon quality as he did the rest of India. But the people of Orissa were not swayed because they were very happy with Naveen Patnaik's 14 years of government. So therefore, if the state regional parties continue to hold their own, continue to be in tune with the people, I don't believe that the BJP is going to make that much of a difference. But yes, power abhors a vacuum. Where there is a vacuum, where the Congress has faltered,
I've got to
the
stop you,
BJP is going to step in. There's no
I'm going to
question.
stop you there very quickly, Sambit Patra. I'm going to give you the last word. Absolutely no one seems to believe that in fact the BJP will be able to establish itself as the single dominant national party. The contention that I was pushing has been refuted at different levels, polemically and analytically, by everyone. Do you believe that the opportunity happening in Tamil Nadu, where both the regional parties, DMK and AIDMK, now look as if they are troubled and their credibility is at stake, opens a state for you? Do you believe that Mission 44 opens Jammu for you? Do you think that you can actually, through conviction and through confidence, push yourself into that position that others are refuting? A quick answer.
Karan, look, I mean, the topic of the discussion is BJP trying to dominate. I believe all the 5 people present over here in the panel are not the ones who would be able to answer this. The answer lies with the people of the country. And as most of us would agree to the fact that if people feel that, well, yes, this party is performing, then surely they will turn it into a dominant party. And I'm sorry to state, as my senior Mr. Swagatara was stating, it is almost as if BJP is forcing its way. No, BJP is not forcing its way. People are bringing BJP because they are not satisfied with the kind of rule that they are seeing in their states, and that's what happened in Tamil Nadu as well.
Okay, I suppose that is a yes to my question then, right at the very end. That will happen in Tamil Nadu as well, so that must be a yes to my question. All right, my thanks to all 4 of my guests for joining me. My apologies, Abhishek Singhvi wasn't able to be with us. I think he probably got held up somewhere or the other.